Hi everyone, this is Dina. Welcome back. Today is Monday. It is the 15th of March, so roughly halfway there. I am excited to tell you that I was able to stitch off and on quite a bit today and stayed up a little bit past my bedtime, not too much, but I am thrilled to tell you that I did my 600 stitches on Here a Peep, There a Peep, and I had just a few stitches left. I knew I didn't have that many left, but I also knew it wasn't going to take me an entire next step to finish it. So I am ecstatic because my March Madness has already afforded me a finish. So that's why this one is finished, because I was going to do 600 stitches in it today, and I just wound up going ahead and finishing it. In case you were wondering, I had 834 stitches to do to finish this today. And I didn't think of finishing it until I got to 600 stitches, and then I thought, there's not that much left. So I just finished it on up, because next week I'm supposed to only push one forward, and if it was this close to a finish, that would have been hard. So I thought, well, if I go ahead and finish it today, I don't have to worry about it. So that means that my Christmas Village ornament will definitely be the one sliding forward into next week, no matter what I get stitched on it, this week. But I want to put those stitches in there to help push it toward a finish as well. So I guess that will be my stitching update for you. And I'm gonna go call it a night. And my husband has a really early morning tomorrow. He has a 5 o'clock call on the set. He is filming as an extra again, and he has to be there ready to go at 5 o'clock in Atlanta. And so he's got to get up at 4 a.m. and get out the door. So it's rough. So I will talk to you soon. And in the meantime, happy stitching. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina. It is Tuesday, and that means it is the 16th of March, and I am here working on my vlog for my third week of the March Madness process. And I had stitched really hard yesterday on my first of the two March Madness projects, and that of course was my Here a Peep, There a Peep that I finished. And so now it's out of competition. So today I have one left for this week, and that one, of course, is my Christmas Village ornament. But today was a busy, crazy day, and it didn't go as planned. My son got up feeling pretty awful this morning, and we weren't quite sure what it was. And he wound up spending the day talking to his physicians and determining what they need to do. So keep your fingers crossed for him. He's got a big test in the morning to make sure he's not slinging blood clots. So I'm a little worried about him. My day wasn't exactly what I planned. I canceled everything that I had scheduled for today in order to be here and kind of keep an eye on him. But his test is in the morning at 7:45. So if you're a praying person, say a little prayer. By the time you see this, we'll already have an answer, so that'll be good. But just an explanation as to why my day kind of went off the rails today, and I didn't stitch what I had planned to stitch. So that means this evening, after everything was scheduled and we knew he was having his test in the morning at 7:45, and he sees his doctor at 3 tomorrow, I could breathe a little easier, and he seems to be feeling a little bit better just knowing he's got somebody checking on it tomorrow. So I settled down this evening and I did some stitching. And I decided I would pull out something for a prompt, but something that didn't require me to do full coverage, something I could do easy, kind of keep my ear out for my son, and get some stitching done while I watched a little floss tube and keep my mind off of it. So I pulled out Gathering Eggs. gathering eggs is one of my, was one of my prompts for my acrostic, and I wound up using Giggles in the Snow instead because I got to stitch on it twice. But I have another prompt that I had identified gathering eggs for, and it was going to require 300 stitches for me to get the full credit. And so I thought I'm going to work on this border and just extend that border because it's such an easy pattern. Although the colors change, they're in little blocks of 5. It's easy to count, and I needed to extend it on down. So that's what I did. I put 324 stitches into this today, and it was all on this border, all the way down. It was probably about somewhere up in here, and I did all of that. And what I was doing the little back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then I would do the green down to maybe about 10 or so past it, and then I would do the back and forth, so that I didn't have to quite count all of this at one time. So it also gave me a bit of an interest to have a little bit of color changing going on in there. And something that was very interesting to me in this border, in two spots right here in the border, if you can see them right there, they're 2 different colors, and they're not the color of the border. Almost as if something either ran over it or it was a mark, you know, for the midpoint or something. But I stitched it as it was drawn, as it was charted, you know. Anyway, so loving it, loving it, loving it. I think it's really, really pretty, and that's where I put my attention this time. I had thought I would come over here and do her little collar and start the top of her dress when I worked on it last, but needing to get 300 stitches, I knew this would be the quickest path. And today I needed something that I didn't have to concentrate on. So I got that done. I can check that one off. And I only have one more prompt left in that Facebook group that I need to meet. And in order to meet that, I will have to put 300 stitches in Pandemic. And so I will hopefully, I have till the end of the month to get it done. So I'm sure I will. But I wanted to share something really exciting with you. I'm going on a trip. I'm so happy to be going somewhere. I have been playing canasta, as I've mentioned on here several times, with 3 to 4 other ladies that we have been sort of in each other's bubble the whole time. And we have had each other, you know, play on occasion. All of them have had both of their shots. I have had my first one, and I was able to get in on a wait list, and I got in it when someone didn't show up, and so I've had my first shot, and I get my second one on the 30th. But since all of them have had theirs, they feel pretty safe. They said I'm the one at risk more than they are. But we're renting a private home of a friend of one of the ladies, and we're going to go to South Carolina. And we're leaving next Tuesday morning, and we will be there through Saturday. And, well, at least most of them will. So I'm actually going to pack some stitching with me to take to the beach because these are my canasta buddies, and I think they play a lot of canasta while we're there. But I think they also just chill, read. Maybe, I don't even know, they may lay on the beach. I don't know. I've never been with them before, so this will be new for me. So I'm going to take some cross stitch. So if there is quiet time that people are just chilling, relaxing, and hanging out, I can pull out my stitching and I can stitch while they read or do whatever. So I will have some with me. You can rest assured on that. So I have to figure out, you know, what I'm going to take. But in the meantime, I'm going to look at what my deadlines are for my prompts, and I'm going to try to finish my acrostics and everything else before I go, because by the time I get back, I'll only have a few days till the end of the month, and I want it to work out well. So that's my stitching, and that's my great news. I can't wait. Hopefully I'll have some good stories to share with you, or some good pictures to share with you. Anyway, I hope that you're doing well, and I hope you're enjoying your stitching, and I hope things are beginning to lighten up for you a little bit too, and that maybe you'll be able to get out and about a little more when you feel comfortable. So from Coco and I, have a good evening. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Dina, and today is Thursday. It is March 18th, and I'm here to give you a report on how my March Madness is going. So I'm very happy to let you know that I have completed my 600 stitches on my final March Madness piece for the week, and that is my Christmas ornament. There we go. I'll show you the one I'm working on. Here we are, right here. So I have picked that up, and I was working on it for March Madness, and I found out I could use it to meet a prompt as well. So I stitched the first 300 stitches, just slightly over 300 stitches, 310 I think, or so, and used it for a prompt, and then I kept on going until I got 625 stitches, and that met the 600 stitches I needed for this week's March Madness. So here's my Christmas village ornament as I'm moving along. So there were a few green stitches in the tree. A little bit of the top was done, but mostly it was just one color or two colors completed in there, and now the entire tree is finished on that side. And then I walked across with the gray, and I did that gray here, came down around here where the door is, outlined the door, and did the door during this time. So I'm tickled to death, because now what I have left to do, there's a man and woman here, there's a tree here, and then you backfill in the rest of the house. So I'm excited. This certainly, if it's come this far with 600 stitches, next week I am scheduled to put 800 stitches in this piece, because the piece it was up against in competition was my Hero Peep, their Peep, and it's finished. So I guess you could say it won because I finished it first, but I still have a week where I can work on this one and push it toward a finish. And I'm hoping that with 800 stitches to go next week, that I might, just might, be able to complete this full coverage piece with that number of stitches. We'll see. All right, I'm going to let you get back to what you're doing, and I will head to bed and get up tomorrow and do a few things I need to do before I start stitching again. Really am enjoying March Madness. I had a couple of comments I've read so far from my previous videos mentioning how much fun they think I'm having with this, and I really am. I'm enjoying it a lot. Now I have to think of something to focus in on April. I'm liking having these, prompts and focuses for the month, just to work on something different, and do it a different way. So I'm going to have to think of something. We'll see. Anyway, enjoy your stitching. I hope that you are. And in the meantime, I will see you as soon as I have something else to share. Happy stitching, everybody. Good night. Hello, FlossTube. Welcome back. This is Gina. It is Friday. It is March 19th, and I'm here to give you an update of my stitching today. Today I looked at my various prompts, and I looked at my whip-go board, and I thought, what else do I need to work on? Well, I have an acrostic that I've been working on at 24 Hours of Cross Stitch, and it is the one that says plastic bags. There it is there, where I've been working on it. And I had one letter left, and that letter was I. in plastic. And for my eye, I was using In Pursuit of One Season in my crabapple tree. This is crabapple tree. And this is the top left corner. This is where I started, right up here in this corner. And I picked it up today to work on it because it is also, in addition to being the last letter I needed for my 24 hours of acrostic for this month, it's also on my whip go board to finish the first season that I'm working on, which is this first corner that I've started. I have to do the whole season this year. I think that's doable, but I had previously gotten part of the border done. I had gotten the border done across the top, started at the top, and then I had done this border down to here, and then I had started down the border in here, inside the block. Not this one out here, but the one in here. So I picked it up today, I pulled it out, I got ready to get started on it, and I thought, this is great. I'm gonna do that little corner piece up there, work in a different color, and get that done, and then I will try to complete my white square of border around it. And when I got to that top left corner, I had started and gone across the top, and when I came back and started down the side, I got off. Right in here where you have these leaves at the top, and then you have another flower. When I came back up here to connect with these leaves, I stitched this line under here again, and I came out over here, and I was 1 to 2 stitches out here just after the corner. This whole thing was over here by about 2 stitches too far, all the way down. I had to frog out that entire side border. So I decided today was the day. I wasn't gonna find an error and leave it there. So I frogged it, and then I went to lunch with my son. Said, I need a break, I need to do something fun. So we did, we went to lunch together. He was off today. And I got home and I said, okay, I have to start this over again. I have to get it done today. So I was able to stitch that side border all the way down again. And then I kept going. I turned the corner and I started across the bottom in the middle of the design. So I am really tickled about that. So I actually stitched today 515 stitches to put this back in, to go to the bottom of the page and start across the bottom. So that's what I've done. I stopped because it's getting late and I'm getting tired and I don't want to make another mistake. So there you go. You can see this inner border over here. It's not the middle border. You can see where this keeps going over here toward the middle border, but that's the inner border for that season. And there will be another inner border down here. But I just went ahead because I was going down as far as I went before, and it was to the bottom of the page, and I joined it up. So it's finished as far as getting that mistake taken care of, and I love it. It looks beautiful, and it looks so good to have it looking correct. My friend Marissa, who gifted me this pattern and this fabric that she dyed, saw me working on it when I was talking with her recently, and she said, you know, you can go ahead and cut that fabric, because she gave me a lot. So I will probably calculate that up next time I pull it out and go ahead and cut the fabric. But it's just so beautiful. I didn't want to miscut it, but I'm pretty confident when I do that, as long as I measure it, you know, 2 or 3 times, just make sure I have plenty. So I'll do that the next time that I pick it up. But that completes my acrostic for 24 hours of cross stitch. So if you're keeping count with me, I have completed both acrostics for the monthly magazine Facebook group. And now I have completed 24 hours of cross stitch. I've got to go post it online. And I've gotten a little work toward my whip go, even though that one hasn't been called yet. I figured it doesn't hurt to get some of it started because there's a lot of stitching in there. So I'm happy about that. It's been a very good day, all in all, very productive. I got a call today from Michael's, and my cross stitch framing is ready. This is one that I had the frame I purchased from the thrift shop when our friends were here from California, and I took my frame in with my Easter Peep, and they are finished putting it together for me. They laced it, or pinned it, whatever. I think they pin. And then they cut me a mat and they put it all into my frame. So that saves me a lot of money. Saves me the whole frame part. And I'm excited about that because I'll get it tomorrow. It's time for me to put away my St. Patrick's Day pieces, and I'll have one big one on the corner, and I'll just put my Easter Peep up there. And then if I can get my pillow made, my eggs pillow, I would like to add that to my mantle as well. Or maybe in here with my tree. Maybe it would look pretty under my tree. So, got lots of fun stuff to do tomorrow, and then I also hope to get to stitch if I can. I have a few prompts in another Facebook group I'd like to meet if I can. And I'm going to have to try to meet them before I go out of town. Because next week, while I'm out of town, I am going to take my travel bag with me. But I'm going to have to take stitching that I can do on a very small Q-snap on a small piece of fabric, because I don't want to take up much room with my cross stitch. We've been told to pack light because we're sharing a car up, and there will be 3 of us riding up together. So I think it'll be, you know, important that I not overwhelm them by bringing bags and bags of stuff. I already have to take a beach bag, you know, with stuff for the beach, and I'm going to take my stitching bag, and then I have to have a suitcase too, so I had to keep it kind of small. But anyway, I'm excited about the trip. I'm excited about picking up my cross stitch tomorrow, and I can't wait to share it with you. And you know, I'll do that as soon as I get on with it. So happy stitching until then, and I'll hope to talk to you tomorrow. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. This is Dina, and it is Saturday, the 20th of March. And so far today, I have been to the gym and have been over to Michael's to pick up my most recent project that I had framed. And I'll remind you a little bit about it. I did it, I stitched it in the February festivals when I was stitching on Easter. This is Easter Peep. And this frame is one that I purchased at my local thrift shop. I think I got this one for $2. It's either $1 or $2. And it did not have a mat in it. It actually just had a piece of board with a picture on it. No glass or anything. But I picked it for this piece because this beautiful gold frame has this dark brown antiquing look to it, and I thought that looked good with these the orange, yellow, and brown in this piece. And then when I got over to Michael's to pick out my mat, I'll see if I can get it close enough where you can actually see the texture I think you can see it there. It looks like fabric, but it's not. It almost looks like the fabric that you would find in a person's hat. And it's about the exact color of that little Peep's hat. So I thought that it played really well between the brown wash on the gold and the brown in the center of the piece, which pulls the little Peep out, I think, into the middle. And it didn't have glass in it. I didn't cut glass for it. I saved a little money there because this is only going to be out, you know, once a year during the Easter season up on my mantle, and then I can dust it well and wrap it up and put it away. So I went really affordable with this one and spent a lot less money getting it framed than I have several others. And it's light. I love that about it. It's very, very light. I think they did a great job. I love it. I'm going to put it on my mantle today in place of my St. Patrick's Day stack. And that way, this will carry me on through Easter and the spring. I think that's really, really sweet. So I wanted to share that with you. Thanks for letting me do that. And I will come back hopefully later today with a little bit of stitching that I might do today as well. But for now, I have plans to spend some time hanging out with my son. We're going to be watching a couple of shows on TV and maybe going out to dinner. And I'm so looking forward to that. So if I get back to see you this evening, I'll share with you what I've been working on. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Today is Monday. It is the 22nd of March, and I'm here to give you a little bit of an update. It's been a busy morning. I've had to go to the bank. I've had to take my son to a doctor's appointment and out to lunch and take Coco to Fred's. My husband took Coco to Fred's this morning to play. And he was able to put his phone up in a holder by the window. And he was able to capture her and her behavior as she was pulling onto the street that Fred lives on. She actually figures out about a block or two ahead of that when she sees the little school. She knows where she's going. And then when she turns on the street that's real pitted and has lots of potholes in it because it's a dirt road, she gets very excited because she knows that she's almost to Fred's house. So my husband was able to videotape her today doing that, and I'm going to put it at the end for you. But you can see her excitement, and if you ever wondered if she enjoys going there, you won't wonder anymore. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And speaking of Coco, today's stitching so far has been my travel piece. And this is the Hands-On Design Block Party Wolf. And that is, I'm doing the top portion first because it's smaller and I thought I could handle it while I'm traveling. And I took it today because my son had a doctor's appointment, as I mentioned, and I just decided to wait there for him because we didn't think it would take very long, and it didn't. But it took long enough. So here's where I got to. I had finished this section here, all the little motifs down beneath the dog, and had started this side of the diamond the last time when I stopped working on it. I think I had right about to here done. I still had 2 or 3 of these little smarter crosses to do. So today, while I was waiting for him, I was able to do this whole row or diagonal and this diagonal, and I turned the corner. I didn't quite get to finish this. But when I got home and I checked my time to see what time I started stitching versus what time I stopped stitching, I had done 2 hours worth of stitching. Now this stitching went slow for me because it's so close to the border because I'm trying to make sure I have enough fabric for the whole piece that I'm having to stitch in hand. I'm not an in-hand stitcher. So this has been going painfully slow for me. And as soon as I'm going to go up here and do this quadrant next when I finish the diagonal, so that I will have a place to put a Q-snap at least in a couple of places. I may not have enough room to put it over here, but I'm going to try. And that way I could get these two quadrants, hopefully, done with a Q-snap. Gonna work on it anyway. So why am I so excited that that was 2 hours worth of stitching? Well, because on my Whip Go goal block party, I was to put 5 hours in it to hit that goal. So I've just hit the goal. Pretty excited about that. So now I have a new Whip Go board to show you. And you will see that it only has 2 colors now. There are no green colors right now because I've completed everything that's been called. That's what the blues are. So every number that's been called so far, I've hit the goal. I turn a block green when it's called and I have to work on it. So when JC Marie calls the next 2 numbers on the 27th of this month, I'll have 2 more that I can turn green. In the meantime, as I have worked on my projects that happen to be on Whip Go, when I've met the goal already for the year, I turn them yellow, as I mentioned before, to let me know, caution. When they call that, look at it, because you've already done it. Just turn it blue. So I'm excited about that. I am tickled that with the exception of, I believe, 3, with the exception of 3 on here, the remaining open spaces are new starts. Wow, did I plan that well? So I am working on, I worked a little bit on my crabapple tree recently. I shared that with you in a previous little segment that I got a little bit of that done, not a lot, but a little bit. And so now I'm gonna put my block party back in my travel bag. Y'all have seen my pretty little travel bag with the puppy dog faces on it. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a knitting bag, but I don't care. I'm using it for this because I think it's precious. So I have some travel stitching packed away. I am taking 3 projects so far, 2 of which are new starts. And the reason that I'm taking them is that they're small. They're very small, and I'm going to be stitching in a car, and I don't need a lot of threads to keep up with, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm taking those, and I may take Mermaid with me, I may not, because it's pretty intense, and I'm not sure I want something that intense while I'm gone. But this one's going to go with me, and I may get even more than my 5 hours on it, which is great. That's okay too. So pretty excited about that. Let me show you what else I'm taking. This is a new start, Stitching Bird. Isn't that precious? And I'm going to be carrying that with me in case I can get started on it. And the next one is actually going to be, hopefully, a birthday present for my sister's mother's, Ellen. We exchange gifts every Christmas and birthdays. And her birthday is in December, so this one could be either her birthday or Christmas present. But it's that beautiful little poem about I'll put the kettle on, come sit and chat with me. And it's a Nancy Turner design. And so I have it ready because it is a monochromatic. I'm doing it in a beautiful variegated floss. And so I could get that started as well. So I'm taking these 2 and my wolf. So we'll see. That should give me plenty of stitching to do while I'm gone. But until I see you again, happy stitching. Hello, welcome. This is Dina, and I have been absent for several days. I'm so glad to be back to talk to you. I had a wonderful opportunity recently to go to a friend of mine's personal home in Kiowa, South Carolina, and stay for 6 days. Traveled the first day, stayed 5 at the beach with some ladies from my church, and I will tell you, it was refreshing to my soul. It was great fun. We had a wonderful time. Everybody got along so beautifully. And these ladies have been traveling, some of them taking this trip every year for the last 15 years. And this was the first time that I had been invited to go. And I felt so privileged to be included in that group of friends. And I got so close, you know, to some of these ladies while we were traveling. And it was a wonderful time. I'm glad I got to go. So I'm sorry I missed you all. I missed my floss tube. I missed my daily recording and stitching, but I did stitch some, and I'll share that with you now and tell you kind of where I'm going to go for next week to the end of the month. So let me just start with what did I do while I was gone. I left on Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. So before I left town, I had done a little bit of stitching on one of my whip go pieces, which was my block party, and I had to reach 5 hours of stitching on it to hit my whip go goals. And on the 22nd, as I was traveling, because I had started working on it probably around, I started on it the 21st, and I worked on it that day, and then I worked on it driving down over to Kiowa. And here's the sad part. I picked up in the car and I started stitching on this, and I got all the way around to about right here and realized this was not going to meet. I had gotten off somewhere. I couldn't see well in the car. And so when I first got started, I had gotten off one thread somewhere. And then when I looked back up here, it wasn't in the right place either. So I went and I had to pull this out and, you know, just frog it all the way back to nothing. I pulled it all out. And when I got home yesterday, late evening, I put it all back in because I just didn't want to put it away until I had caught up with where I needed to be. So technically, I can put this away for the whole year if I want to, because I have hit my goal on my whip go board. But you know I won't, because I am so enjoying working on this. This corner up here is going to be the top of the block party piece. And then I will also have a long strip, which will go down here. So I'm excited about that. Very nice. Great progress, corrected the problem, got back at it, and was able to work on it. The interesting thing is that in trying to save all this fabric that I could to make sure I had enough room for everything, I barely left, you know, the border that I felt comfortable with to sew this together. And I had to stitch in hand until I finished this corner. So all that is stitched in hand. And then this is when I put it back in the Q-snap for the first time. So that one is done. Oh, and I forgot to show you what that's going to look like. So this is where we are. So there you go. So that's block party. I can now drop it away in my project bag, which you've seen before, my little puppy dog project bag. Lovely. And I can put it away for a little while. This is going to be a gift. Stephanie, this is for Mom, so don't let her see this. But it's called I'll Put the Kettle On. And I think I've mentioned before how she loves her tea. And she loves the tea from England, actually. And that's what she drinks most of the time. So my thought was to stitch this up for her because I think it's a perfect sentiment for her. It says, I'll put the kettle on, come sit and chat with me. We'll laugh and share a while and sip a cup of tea. And it even has the teapot charm up here that you put somewhere on here. And I'm assuming it would be where the teapot is that the girl is holding. Instead of stitching it, you would put the charm on it. So I'll wait and see how that looks because I'm stitching this on a beautiful hand-dyed fabric called Quartz from Picture This Plus. And this, you can see how wrinkled this is. I forgot my Q-snap. I haven't traveled with my stitching in a while. I forgot my Q-snap. So I had my travel bag all ready and I thought it was completely loaded, but I had pulled my Q-snap out of there because it was the perfect size for something a while back and I wasn't traveling anyway and I forgot that I had taken it out. So when I got there, I didn't have it. Anyway, I had to stitch all this in hand and that is not my favorite. I know some of you love it and that's your preference. I don't love it. My poor little arthritis in my hands really takes a beating when I stitch in hand. I don't like it. My hand's still sore. But this is what I got done in the time that I was gone. I made an effort to stitch as close to a full line as I could each day. Now these two lines were longer and I got part of it done one day and then I would stitch around and get part of the next one finished. And so, but by the time that I got home, this is what I had done. So the poem is finished and now I've started the top of the hat on the first lady. Now this is a beautiful silk that I'm using. It's a Karen Water Lily. And I'm going to take it out of my little thread keeper so you can see it, how it looks in the skein. But you, of course, have seen it stitched up here. But this is how it looks. And this is called Chili. Just Chili. Isn't that beautiful? So it goes from a dark, sort of dusty rose to a very light rose. And it's, I think, looking very pretty on quartz. I think she'll like it. Now, this is an idea that I have. I've got to see if I can make this happen. What I would really like to do with this, because it's going to be a fairly large piece, is probably, when I finish this, it's going to be probably way down to here. That's fairly large. I don't know that I can get this to fit on the top of a tea box, you know, where you have all your tea selections in a box. I don't think it would fit there. It might if I just did the poem and turned it, you know, sideways. I don't think it would work with the whole piece. So my idea originally was that I wanted to put this on a box and put her favorite tea in it. But since I think it's going to be too big for that, I have a choice. I can stop here and I could put this poem on the box if I could find one. And then I could do the other piece as a flat fold to go with it. Or I can just finish it up because I've already started it. And I'm thinking that it might be nice to put it on a pillow. Make a really pretty pillow out of it. And let her put it near her chair so that when she wants a pillow behind her back, she can put this one there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Stephanie, I'll chat with you about that. See if you think that might be something that your mother would enjoy. So that was my away stitching. Very, very little stitching compared to what I normally do. But I was busy at the beach. Sitting on the beach, walking on the beach, touring the town of Kiowa because I had never been there before. And just really enjoying, you know, being away, having a little bit of a trip. It was wonderful. We haven't traveled in so long as a, you know, as a country that it really felt good to get to do that. So that is the stitching that I've been up to while away. So now I'm home. What am I going to pick up and do now? Well, I looked back at my trusty calendar and I have been thinking, you know, what I had put on there before, what I wanted to do. And then I looked at the new Whip Go numbers that were called, and I want to tell you about those. The two numbers were 21 and 3. And my number 21 is a new start, Field Mice Hollow. and I want to finish one mouse. And then the number 3 was a real snow job, which is my Haid, and I'm supposed to finish a page. So this is a year-long event. I don't have to do them right away, and I think I'm going to wait on both of them for just a little while. Here's why. Number 1, I've just started 2 new things with the block party wolf, and also with my I'll put the kettle on. And I don't think I want to just start them and throw them to the side and start something else and throw it to the side. And, you know, I just don't want to do that really. So what I think I'm going to do is go back for the last week of this month and work on some of my pieces that I haven't been able to get as much on as I wanted to. One of those is my Christmas Village ornament. My Christmas Village ornament was to be my final piece for March Madness, and I didn't get to work on it at all that last week because I got to go to the beach. This was one of those trips where I got a text, you know, on a Thursday or so saying, can you go next Tuesday? I didn't have a lot of time, you know, to plan. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks about wouldn't it be great if we could arrange it to go together, and then all of a sudden, boom, everything fell in place and we were able to go. So I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. But I did think it would be nice, first of all, to pick that ornament back up and just to see if I couldn't push it to a finish. So today I'm going to pick that ornament up and I'm going to start stitching on it. I'll decide after today how much more I have left because it is full coverage. How long I think it might take me to finish it. And if I can finish it by the end of this month, I think I'm going to do that. And then it would be awesome because then I would come out of March Madness with 2 finishes, which would be fun. I would like that a lot. So those are my plans. I will show you my Whip Go board because I did mark in green pencil the 2 that I can now work on. So I have completed everything that's been called except the 2 that had just been called. And I've also completed the ones in yellow, as you recall, if you've seen this before from me, or the ones I've done and met the goals on that haven't been called yet. So I'm liking this row a lot. Look at this. When I get that one done, I only have 2 more to get a bingo. This only has 1 more to get a bingo, but these 2 haven't been called either. So I'm not really that close to a bingo anywhere, but there's potential that I might hit one, and who knows, it may just go boom. You know, I may have 2 or 3 that become bingos with 1 piece, you know, with 1 project being called. But I'm keeping my board up, and I've been working on it, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so that's it. That's my report up. I'm back home. I can enjoy my stitching again. And I will mention one more time that for the month of April, I will be doing what is called my egg roll game and Easter egg roll. And that is that I'm going to work on my gathering eggs, some every week. That's the piece I have chosen to be my focus for April. And what I'm going to do every Monday morning is roll the die and see if I get what number I get, 1 through 6, and I will multiply that by 100, and that's how many stitches that are the minimum for me to stitch that week. And if I want to do more than that, great. But I figured I could fit that in with my Whip Go board and with my prompts that I'm working on. So that's what I'm going to do. If you're interested in doing that with me, please join me. I would love to hear about it if you do. And I would like to also comment here. I watched Stitching at the Cabin when I got home yesterday. It was one of the first things I caught up on. And Julie, I sent you a message already on your video, but I'm really thinking that you need to be stitching that mermaid with me. So here you go. Here's my deal. You stitch the mermaid with me. I also have a chatelaine that I haven't been working on for over a year. I completely put it inactive. It's one of the ones that you have, Alpine Garden Seasons. So when you get ready to pull that back out and start working on it or start it, I think you may have already started it, but when you get ready to do that, if I haven't already done mine, I'll start it with you. So there you go. You start Mermaid with me, I'll start Alpine Seasons with you. Just thought I would give you a little encouragement. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your stitching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Dina and it is the 29th of March. So I am back with a wrap up of my March Madness stitching. I was able to get my 800 stitches in to my final March Madness whip, and that is the Christmas Vintage Ornament. And this is where I got to. I want to share this with you. This is almost finished. What I have left is one color in the house, and I believe 2 to 3 little small parts in here. I think there's some red beads that will be put on here. There's a couple of colors of stitching in there. And then this tree over here is what I have left. And then all the back stitching. I was hoping that 800 stitches would get me through with all the cross stitch, but it didn't. Remember, full coverage, lots of stitches. But look how close to a finish this is. It's really, really close. And today is the 29th. So I still have a little bit of time. And so I'm gonna keep working on it. And I hope that by my next video, you'll see a finish. I'm hoping. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this today, and we'll see how that goes. So I hope you're enjoying everything you're working on. I hope that things are becoming a little more open for you in your communities. It certainly is here for us. And I get my second vaccination tomorrow. So I am really tickled about that. I've been warned not to plan anything for the day after because that seems to be, if you're going to have some reaction, that seems to be the day you do. And but I'm hoping that I don't have any trouble. So I'll let you know how that goes. Anyway, at the end of this video, I will also let you know I've got some Coco pictures. My husband took her walking at one of the college campuses around here again and took pictures of her in front of a couple of statues and sent me a text while I was out of town saying Coco went off to school while I left, which was quite funny. But the other footage that you'll see is Coco's behavior when she knows she's getting close to Fred's house. This is when she goes to the dog sitter and her best friend Fred. And you'll see, without a doubt, how excited she is to get to go play with Fred. I want to put that in there for you because it's so precious. And at the very end, I will also have some pictures of the beautiful beach that we were visiting, just a couple of snapshots, not a video or anything, but just to give you an idea of the area that we were in and how beautiful it was. So I hope you're having a great week, and I will talk to you soon. And until then, as usual, happy stitching, everybody.
Look where we are. Here's Fred's house. Where's Fred? Oh, look who's here. Let me come get you. Stay right there. All right, come on. Come on. Go play. Go play. Let's go. Bye-bye.